50 years ago, a legendary moment in rock history unfolded at Rockfield Studios, a renowned recording spot nestled in the peaceful countryside near Monmouth. This is where Queen, one of the most iconic rock bands ever, crafted the masterpiece that would become Bohemian Rhapsody. But here's where it gets fascinating. The band had actually been at Rockfield a year earlier, in 1974, when they were still struggling financially. By the time they returned, in the summer of 1975, after their breakthrough hit Killer Queen, they were not only famous, but also enjoying newfound financial success. Kingsley Ward, who co-founded Rockfield Studios, recalls this transformation vividly. He shared that during their 1975 stay, Queen spent about a week at the studio, but seemed to be taking it easy. While tossing a frisbee outside, Kingsley mentioned to guitarist Brian May that the band hadn't been very productive. May then revealed that Freddie Mercury, the charismatic frontman, was inside working on something special. Curious, Kingsley went inside and found Mercury at the piano, practicing a new song that was then simply called Freddie's Thing. At the time, Kingsley had no idea that this was the birth of Bohemian Rhapsody, a song that would go on to become one of the most celebrated and groundbreaking tracks in music history. This week marks the 50th anniversary of the completion of its recording, a milestone celebrated not only in the Welsh countryside but worldwide. To honor this golden anniversary, Brian May and drummer Roger Taylor joined forces with the BBC Symphony Orchestra for a spectacular performance during the last night of the Proms finale. The song's influence continues to ripple through popular culture, recently going viral on social media after French pianist Julian Cohen organized a flash mob of 30 musicians who stopped a Paris street with their rendition. The video has since amassed over 11 million likes on Instagram. Among the performers was Ollie Pearson, an electric guitarist from Wrexham, who delivered an electrifying version of May's iconic guitar solo. Ollie described the experience as beyond words, highlighting the thrill of being part of such a legendary piece. Rockfield Studios itself is steeped in rock royalty. Founded in the 1960s by Kingsley and his brother Charles, after being rejected by the legendary producer George Martin, often called the Fifth Beatle, the studio quickly became a haven for groundbreaking artists. Besides Queen, Rockfield was the birthplace of some of Oasis's biggest hits and welcomed the Prince of Darkness himself, Ozzy Osbourne, who arrived in 1970 with Black Sabbath. Osbourne once reminisced about the freedom Rockfield gave them to play as loud as they wanted, with the roof tiles literally rattling from their volume, a freedom no other studio would allow. Of all the unforgettable moments at Rockfield, Kingsley Ward says the highlight was hearing Freddie Mercury's solo during the recording of Bohemian Rhapsody. He described it as outstanding, a moment that stood out even among the many legendary sessions held there. Interestingly, when Queen finished recording the song, Kingsley had never heard it in its entirety. The track was recorded in 3 separate sections: ballad, operatic, and hard rock, and these parts were never combined during the studio sessions. It wasn't until he was driving along the M4 motorway and heard the full song on the radio that he realized just how extraordinary it was. "I was amazed," he said. "I thought it was fantastic." Kingsley also praised the recent Paris performance, especially Ollie Pearson's guitar solo, calling it fantastic and brilliant. Ollie, for his part, expressed pride in contributing to such a famous song, though he admitted to feeling nervous before the flash mob. The adrenaline quickly took over, fueling his performance. Looking ahead, Ollie dreams of playing in a large band at Wembley Stadium, possibly sharing the stage with Brian May himself. When asked if he could help make that dream a reality, Kingsley responded warmly, "He's such a nice person. I'm sure he'd be interested." But here's the part most people miss. The story of Bohemian Rhapsody isn't just about a song. It's about transformation, creativity under pressure, and the magic that happens when talent meets opportunity. It also raises an intriguing question. How much of Queen's success was shaped by the unique environment of Rockfield Studios, a place that encouraged loud, bold experimentation when other studios wouldn't. Could the freedom to push boundaries be the secret ingredient behind some of rock's greatest moments? What do you think? Was it the band's genius alone? Or did Rockfield's atmosphere play an equally crucial role? Share your thoughts and join the conversation below.